Date-rape drugs are new dangerous substances in our society. They consist of odorless, colorless pills that dissolve instantly when put in liquid substance, which for the most part is alcohol. These drugs are used to intoxicate another person and facilitate sexual assault, which is any sexual activity with absolutely no consent and which might put the individual in danger. The Office on Women's Health mentioned some of the date-rape drugs, including Rohypnol, GHB, GBL, and ketamine. Date-rape drugs can take multiple forms such as pills, powder, or liquid, and they are relatively cheap and easy to acquire. Nevertheless, alcohol alone is also a common substance used to facilitate sexual assault. Therefore, such crimes happen in bars, clubs, or house parties where people are usually already intoxicated. As a result, it is harder to identify date-rape drugs, for they have similar effects to excessive alcohol consumption, such as drowsiness, dizziness, nausea, slurred speech, confusion, sleepiness, trouble moving, difficulty breathing, and fainting. Additionally, date-rape drugs can cause memory loss and affect judgment and behavior, making it much harder for the victim to escape and call out for help. Rohypnol is illegal in the United States and Canada, but it is legal in Europe and Mexico, where it is used for anesthesia and prescribed for insomnia, yet that does not stop the aggressor from illegally possessing them. But how common is drug-facilitated sexual assault? Multiple studies suggest that there is no clear evidence that date-rape drugs are used. There was a study in the United Kingdom where researchers tested blood and urine in which drug-facilitated sexual assault was suspected. They found that the most used substance was alcohol, and it was consumed voluntarily most of the time. A study from the British Journal of Criminology proclaimed that such drugs are largely an urban myth and that individuals had just the perception of the risk of being drugged. Thus, sickness, blackouts, and dizziness were mistakenly linked to poisoning by a stranger when it was likely to just be the cause of excessive alcohol consumption. Nevertheless, there are questionable allegations about date-rape drugs, and as a result, many things have been invented in order to protect people from rapists, such as lip gloss, nail polish, and coasters. These female products of hygiene suggest that only women are victims of assault and disregard the victims with a different gender. Many also stigmatize males as being aggressors, when this could very likely be committed by a woman as well. Some might think that women lie and make up stories about being sexually assaulted, when in reality the number of false reports for sexual assault is very low in Canada. Sexual assault carries such a stigma that many individuals prefer not to report it. They believe that it is not a big deal to have sex with a person while they are intoxicated, when in reality this is considered sexual assault, for the individual is unconscious and incapable of consenting due to alcohol consumption or drugs. As a result, the person may also be left paralyzed with fear and be unable to fight back, making them unable to resist. Date-rape drugs exist and could potentially be used to drug and sexually assault individuals. Thus, looking after your friend's drink at the bar is still a good idea to prevent such situations from happening. Nevertheless, individuals should not live in fear that they will be poisoned and raped every time they go out. In fact, the British researchers noted that drug-facilitated sexual assault is not a widespread crime, for it requires the rapist to buy the drugs, slip them discreetly into the victim's drink, and manage to take the victim away from his or her friends, and then erase his memory or her memory of the whole situation. The real reason as to why people fear date-rape drugs is because it is more convenient to say that it is due to that rather than the effect of alcohol alone. If a person believes they have been drugged, it is best that they go to a secure place and call an ambulance or have a friend take them to an emergency room. If someone has been or believes they have been raped, they should immediately go to a hospital emergency room. It is important that the person does not try to urinate, bathe, shower, wash their hands, brush their teeth, change their clothes, for a doctor or nurse may be able to collect evidence of the assault from the body. It is also important to take a urine sample to test for date-rape drugs. Some substances leave the body very quickly, thus if one waits to get help, it may be difficult to prove that date-rape drugs were involved. For this reason, it is important to get medical help as quickly as possible. Lastly, one should note that such incidents happen to everyone, regardless of a person's gender or sexual orientation. They might be more prevalent among women, but men, as well as transgender and non-binary people, are frequently assaulted too.